Since being in prison, I've discovered a lot of talent, a lot of gifts. Some of my passions are fitness, art. I recently discovered poetry, and many other things. But since I have this minute to speak to the public, speak to the world, I'd like to share one of them gifts, and that is my poetry. I wrote this poem maybe like a year ago called Chicago Gun Violence. It's just a story of my own, but it's not just based in Chicago. It's based in many urban communities around the world. So here it goes. Chicago Gun Violence. In the back alley of the Chicago streets, another gun is being sold to snatch up another soul. Not knowing the future of the bullet would end up in the skull of a little girl that's only 4 years old. Shots fired. Pop, 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 the glass shattered as the crowd scattered. As little Destiny lies in the puddle of blood as her mother screams, "Black lives matter, my baby lives matter." Wake up, little Destiny. This is not your destiny. God, please bring my baby back and I'll give you the rest of me as the tears fell from her face. She could now see the reflection of her face in the puddle of her daughter's blood, which fills her heart with so much hate. But out of pain and anguish she screams, yet no one cares. Because the community knows who did it, yet no one tells. Because he fears assassination. She fears retaliation. And if our community remains fearful, we all face annihilation. See, Destiny is only one of many as her body is swept off in an ambulance. Still being resuscitated as a lifeless form flops around from the turbulence. Meanwhile, at the crime scene, evidence is still being collected. As the fingerprints from the fragments came back to someone unexpected. Who would have thought that the same bullets her father placed in the clip would have been the same hollow tips that ripped through the back of his daughter's skull? Who would have thought that her father would become the grim reaper to snatch up her lovely soul? Now he went from shooting at rivals to putting his hand on the Holy Bible, asking God for revival, feeling sorry for his actions, begging God for her survival. As the tears fell from his face, he could now see reflections of her face. In fact, he can hear the voices in the laughter as she played hopscotch and double dutch on the same streets where she lay. Contemplating suicide as he drowned in regret, as he takes his last breath in his cell, sheet wrapped around his own neck. Chicago Gun Violence. And while I got the time, maybe I'll share one more that's controversial from a revolutionary perspective. And this poem was inspired by just the events that I've been seeing basically on the regular through the news. There was one story about the brother Mike Brown, and I see myself as Mike Brown, another black youth who could have potentially been in the same situation many times. But this poem is called Hands Down, which is the opposite of hands up. And I'm coming from a perspective as if I don't see myself being a Mike Brown as far as a victim. So this poem is titled Hands Down. Hands down. I am not Mike Brown. I refuse to be shot with my hands up or by simply pulling my pants up. My hands are down. And there's nothing to be broached. If I'm being approached as if I'm a wild animal being poached, by any means necessary, I have the rights to smoke and roast you pigs until you squeal like when Eric Garner was being choked. See, I read the memo. When the Ku Klux told their members to take off the white robes and put on the black robes and become prosecutors, public defenders, and join the fraternities of the boys in blue. That's why I feel like I'm from in California. If I was a blood, seeing my brother's blood shed from them boys in blue. See, I refuse to be unrighteously murdered by the white man or by the black man with the white man's ideology. My philosophy is that every black man should join Almighty to fight back all whiteys, or join the DGDs to combat all COPs for every brother they have shot unjustifiably. And see, the thing that makes me livid is that the struggle has been abandoned because a lot of us has quit it. Because there's always a Uncle Tom, house nigga, bootlicker hanging with the field niggas claiming to be a real nigga. Trying to get me back in shackles and chains, serving involuntary servitude, living in cells that mimic slave huts. 13th Amendment. So a conclusion allowed me to make something clear. I don't want no men around unless my men are down. Put his hands down and refuse to stand down and stand up. And don't be walking around with your hands up screaming, don't shoot. Brother, put your hands down or else. I am not Mike Brown. So that's just a few poems of many from a conscious, revolutionary perspective. And I shared that not only just to share my gifts and my talents, but to also make people aware that there are many people like myself who have discovered many gifts and talents that's within themselves. And since being in prison, I've discovered some of the greatest minds in existence, and that's my strong opinion. Beautiful brothers, intellectual brothers, who live their life, wasting their life, doing things other than themselves, destroying their community, being a Satan within their community, coming to prison, discovering the God within. And of course everybody is not right. But however, I do believe that people in a free world society should invest in people who are incarcerated, especially the ones who plan on returning soon back to the communities. Because these would be your neighbors. These would be the people that are living right around the corner, the people you will see in the grocery stores, in the mall, in your everyday life. So I believe that abandonment should no longer exist as far as separating yourself from people who are actually going to return back to your community. My strong opinion is that you should invest.
What do you mean by that?
Adopt a prisoner. I believe there are programs already out there. I'm not able to recall the exact names at this moment, but adopt a prisoner. There are many programs out there where they offer pen pals. The reason why I say adopt is because I look at adoption as you accepting someone who's not naturally yours, and you making them become a part of you, your household, your community, and you treating them as if they are yours and as if they belong to you. And I believe that's the perspective of how we should look at one another. You know, my brother's keeper, my sister's keeper. Adopt them as if they are yours. Ask questions. What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are you good at? What are your interests? And take notes. And what those things are, send information in. Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, different book companies, or just print things off of the internet. Invest in them. And, you know, first-hand experience that is greatly appreciated from the ones who are sincere and genuine in regards to their change. So adopt a prisoner.